hornet gargling TCP through a loud hailer, routing MDF with a blunt power tool, rapidly opening and closing a soundproof door on a soprano with stomach cramps. These are the sort of high-revving V8-sponsored noises of which, tradition has it, inevitably accompany the rapid progress of any Maserati. Perhaps, then, the biggest shock to the system appendant to the arrival of the new Levante is not the decision by the company to enter the increasingly glutted luxury SUV fray, but rather, the news that, targeting rivals such as the Porsche Cayenne, BMW X5 and Range Rover Sport, this latest Trident-badged offering was initially only offered with diesel power when it arrived in the UK in December 2016. Maserati Levante S launched a year after diesel. This was remedied in 2017 with a light update to the range, which along with a new steering system and some added driver assistance technology, active lane keeping and cruise control, also heralded the introduction of the Maserati Levante S, which gets a fantastic sounding Ferrari-built 3.0-litre twin-turbo V6 petrol, and is far closer to the spirit of Maserati than the diesel. It's certainly quicker, with a 5.2 second 0 to 62 miles per hour time and a top speed of 164 miles per hour. Not that there's a great deal wrong with the 3.0-litre V6 punching out 275 horsepower and a wholesome 600 Newton-meters of torque mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive, except that the Levante diesel panders to our ingrained perceptions of the oral accompaniment. The Maserati should deliver about as much as a badger with whooping cough. High-tech chassis and all-wheel drive system ruthlessly benchmarked against Porsche's improbably agile Cayenne, and, mercifully, not based on Jeep Grand Cherokee underpinnings as once intended, the Levante boasts a surfeit of aluminium in both body shell and suspension, and has the lowest center of gravity in its segment along with near-perfect 50 hours 50 minutes weight distribution. Aerodynamic tinkerings include a front grille shutter system which opens for engine cooling purposes and closes to reduce drag, with the result that, overall, the Maserati's shape is slippery enough to garner a best-in-class drag coefficient of only CD 0.31. This equates to lowest in-class wind noise at high motorway speeds, making it easier to hear the persistent roar of 20-inch rubber and that vociferous diesel engine, when specified. The self-leveling air suspension features continuous damper control allied to a choice of 5 ride heights which hoist the body shell a maximum of 40 mm above the normal 210 mm ride height, or lower it by as much as 45 mm for easier access and egress when parked. At speeds above 106 miles per hour, the car automatically lowers by 35 mm whilst the chances of keeping your license are simultaneously lowered considerably more. Drive modes for switchable character. A choice of 4 drive modes all benefit from an intelligent all-wheel drive system with a sporting bias towards rear-wheel drive. Incorporating a mechanical self-locking differential and active torque control, the system will drive the rear wheels only when dormant, steering when called upon to transfer as much as 50% of torque to the front wheels. Luxurious cabin on board. The best build quality Maserati has managed in an age is hallmarked by a gently idiosyncratic meld of flair and functionality. A new multimedia interface combines an 8.4-inch touchscreen with rotary dial control, and works quickly and well enough, though why something as fundamental to winter starts as front seat heater switching should be buried in a submenu is beyond us. Though the leather upholstery looks appropriately opulent, it somewhat lets the side down on the comfort stakes. Inadequate front seat back lateral support leaves you prone to sliding to and fro like a puppy cornering on lino, and the bases are sufficiently hard and lumpy to merit updating an old fairy story to the princess and the tennis ball status. A good value Maserati? Pricing is such that the Levante is a relatively good value option as a diesel, but that Ferrari motor in the S pushes the cost up by over £11,000. That's a tall order, but the stark reality is that you'll be getting the true Maserati experience if you can afford it. The verdict: the company dubs the Levante the Maserati of SUVs, saying we didn't build an SUV, we built a Maserati. That's true of the Levante S, but, truth is, the 3.0 diesel is rather more akin to merely a well-judged SUV that happens to be badged Maserati. Driven back-to-back, the difference seems bigger than the gap in price. Read on for the comprehensive Maserati Levante review. Choice of 2 engines as of 2017. Diesel isn't half or good as petrol. S or versions use 8-speed auto. There are 2 engine options available on the Levante, a diesel and a high-performance S version with a twin-turbo V6 petrol. Maserati Levante diesel. Your sole choice at launch was a 3.0-litre V6 turbo diesel, delivering 275 horsepower at 4,000 revolutions per minute and 600 Newton-meters of torque from 2,000 revolutions per minute. This means 0 to 62 miles per hour is achieved in 6.9 seconds and the top speed is 143 miles per hour. These performance figures are on the cusp of not quite meriting Maserati status, especially when you lob the diesel thrum into the equation. Economy is impressive enough with 39.2 miles per gallon promised and 189 grams/km of CO2, although the Levante's running costs are far from the lowest in class. There's an 8-speed automatic transmission with flappy paddle manual override and intelligent all-wheel drive system with a sporting bias towards rear-wheel drive. Maserati Levante S. The Ferrari-built 430 horsepower V6 twin-turbo petrol is a far more pleasing proposition, smoother, properly vocal and much more potent. 0 to 62 miles per hour comes in 5.2 seconds and it'll hit 165 miles per hour. This engine makes the Italian firm's first SUV feel like a proper Maserati. You'll have to put up with quite a hit in list price and fuel economy. Claimed 39.2 miles per gallon for diesel plays 26.4 miles per gallon for S, but both are very costly to tax using the latest system. The S comes fitted with the very same 8-speed automatic gearbox and all-wheel drive system as the diesel. Gearbox, a mechanical self-locking differential and active torque control can split the power from 100% rear-wheel drive to 50 hours 50 minutes front and rear. There are 4 drive modes to choose from: normal, sport, off-road and ice. You need to activate sport mode to wake up the transmission, which is smooth enough in normal mode, but gives you time to consider a particularly tricky chess move while your request for a down change from 4th to 3rd is considered. Following the 2017 update, you had the choice of Aero 1 and 2, with the car squatting low over its suspension for stable cornering, and Off-Road 1 and 2, which raised the ride height by up to 40 mm, for better ground clearance. Handling belies Levante's size. Adaptive air suspension impresses modes for off-road and fast driving. Given that this is a 2.2-ton car, the Levante's handling is probably its finest attribute. There's stacks of grip, and the active suspension makes a respectable fist of controlling body movement and roll through the corners. Old-fashioned hydraulic steering is accurate if not hugely informative, on pre-2017 models, and decidedly meaty at all speeds, which is appropriate to the nature of the beast when pressing on, but not so great when exploiting the 11.7-meter turning circle at parking speeds. While the paddle shift override works well, you can't separate suspension and transmission in the drive mode settings as you can with some rivals, so an overfirm ride comes free with sharper powertrain responses. The V6 petrol is a far more engaging drive. It is 100 kilograms lighter than the diesel and it feels as if this weight has all come off the nose. So the steering is perceptibly lighter and the turn-in crisper. It just feels entirely more agile, but perhaps we were seduced by its excellent engine noise. New steering for 2017. During the minor update in 2017, a new electrically assisted power steering system was introduced across the Levante range to replace the outgoing hydraulic setup. It's the very same kit installed on the Ghibli and Quattroporte during their respective updates earlier in the same year. In isolation, this is among the best systems of its type that we've tried. Maserati has gone to great lengths to instill many of the same qualities that make the old configuration so likable, meaning it's sharp, responsive and extremely accurately weighted based on the speed you're traveling. The primary reason for its introduction was to allow engineers to fit active lane keeping tech as part of the driver assistance upgrades, but it would have been all too easy to remove some of the Levante's handling talent in the process. This doesn't appear to have been the case, though, based on an early drive of both petrol and diesel engines on the road and in the desert sands of Dubai. Off-road in the Maserati Levante. Our testers have had the chance to push the Levante off-road on terrain ranging from extreme desert dunes to soggy UK mud, and it didn't get flustered once. On sand we set the ride height to its tallest, put the car in its off-road drive mode and let some air out of the tires for better purchase, but everything else remained standard kit. Decent approach and departure angles were evident as we traversed steeper gradients, while the predominantly rear-biased all-wheel drive system was fully employed, getting torque to each wheel according to its grip level. We found the Levante planted, confidence-inspiring and surprisingly capable when the going got tough. On mud we were able to test the Levante's low-friction grip as well as its ability to apply power diagonally across the axles even with a wheel in the air. It also soaked up big bumps with surprising comfort given the slightly stiff ride experience of on-road, and tackled steep drops with ease using the variable speed hill descent control. Extremely well-designed cabin, modern multimedia system, gearshift paddles on steering column. This is the most cleanly executed cabin we've seen from Maserati in an age. Predictably leather-heavy, but well-detailed with a perceptible hike in build quality. There's even an optional silk roof lining. Gearshift paddle shifters are mounted to the steering column, not the wheel itself. But they lack in blade length, so you can find yourself reaching for thin air when attempting a gear change with lock wound on. Conversely, the paddles obstruct access to the indicator stalks. The sat-nav, audio, telephone multimedia system with 8.4-inch touchscreen and rotary dial control looks good, quick and intuitive to use, but some essentials such as front seat heating and ventilation are pointlessly buried in submenus. There are clear, analog dials in the driver's instrument binnacle, and the multifunction steering wheel offers control of displays, cruise control and, for the 1 in 1,000 owners who will ever be confronted by a slope daunting enough to merit it, hill descent speed control. Front seats adjustable but not comfiest, air suspension smooths out bumps well, ride still firmer that some rivals a good driving position that requires hiking the seat quite high within the car, but the seat itself lets the side down through feeling too large and too lumpy. There is spacious rear accommodation in the outer 2 seats, but, as ever, the middle seat is something of an afterthought, with legroom constricted by a rear center console. Lowest in-class wind noise at speeds that will lose you your license is all very well, but there's a deal of tire roar from 20-inch rubber at more humdrum velocities, and the diesel never sounds particularly engaging, particularly at idle, when it thrums through the car like a stoutly struck wasp's nest. You'll appreciate the Petrol S's soundtrack far more. The Levante rides acceptably well on air springs in all ride height options, with an underlying tingle through controls and the seat of the pants which lets you know that handling performance remains the priority in all drive modes. 2 simple trim levels well equipped as standard, huge array of options. Here it is, the first ever Maserati you can fix a tow bar to. While that's an option, there's plenty of standard equipment on offer too, as you would hope from a large and premium priced SUV. Standard Maserati Levante SUV equipment or cars come with air conditioning, sat-nav, cruise control, heated front and rear seats, radar-based blind spot detectors, 360-degree cameras, emergency city braking and all the off-road electronic trickery associated with modest off-roadability. You get bi-xenon headlights and a backlit instrument panel, plus leather seats with 6-way electrical adjustment for the driver. The standard sound system has 8 speakers including dashboard and rear door tweeters plus bass speakers in the doors. Range split in 2 in 2017. During a minor update in 2017, the Levante's lineup was split into a pair of trims depending on what you're looking for in an SUV. They both cost the same, so it's completely down to personal preference. The Gran Lusso specification gets front skid plate and roof rails, silver Gran Lusso badging, black brake calipers, 19-inch alloy wheels, while the Gran Sport trim gets piano black grille, skid plates and roof rails, Gran Sport badging, red brake calipers, 20-inch alloy wheels. Optional Maserati Levante SUV extras. Of course, very few cars will leave the factory in standard spec, and there are many accessories to pick from. The best place to start is with one of the option packs. On early pre-2017 Levantes you had a choice between sport and luxury packs. The sport pack features a gloss black front grille and skid plates, a body-colored rear spoiler, steel door sills, 12-ways electric sport seats, a sport steering wheel, 20-inch alloy wheels, red brake calipers, gearshift paddles and brushed steel sport pedals. Then there's the luxury pack which gets you a chromed front grille, steel door and boot sills, premium leather or Zegna edition interior, more on this below, 19-inch alloys, black brake calipers, Harman Kardon stereo, wooden interior trim, 12-way electric comfort seats and power rear side sun blinds. The full leather option adds height to the door panels and the dashboard in a wide range of colors and combinations, plus contrasting stitching on the seats and headrests. Finally, the Zegna pack is an upgrade of the full leather option and is available as an option within the luxury pack. It combines nicer Italian leather with silk from fashion designer Ermenegildo Zegna. Other visual upgrades include 13 paint colors and 19, 20 and 21-inch wheels, plus silver finish or black gloss roof rails. Gadget-wise you can pick an adaptive front lighting system and full panoramic electric sunroof. The easy entry and exit system moves the seat backwards and the steering column upwards to help you get in and out. A home-linked garage door or gate opener can be integrated in the dome lighting unit in the ceiling above the dashboard, and can be programmed to operate up to 3 systems, ideal if you own more than one property. Furthermore, the glove box can be locked and unlocked by the Maserati Touch Control Plus screen using a 4-digit PIN, and you can even get a remote engine starter button on the key fob. Double laminated acoustic glass for the rear windows reduces noise getting in from the outside, and the powered tailgate can be enhanced with the kick sensor, so you can open the boot by waving your foot under the car. And, as we mentioned before, you can now have a tow bar fitted so you can tow a trailer weighing up to 2,700 kilograms. If you're into your music, then there's a premium 900-watt Harman Kardon system included in the luxury pack, or a top-end Bowers & Wilkins version. This has a 1,280-watt amp and 17 speakers. In 2017, a new Nerissimo pack was added, which is available on Grand Sport models and includes black highlights on the outside of the car for a darker, more menacing look. Impressively appointed with safety gear, no Euro NCAP crash test score, new driver assistance tech. In 2017, the Maserati Levante hasn't been crash tested by Euro NCAP, but this is a high-rise SUV with 4-wheel drive, so it should hang on to the road well and protect you in a crash. There is also a wide range of driver assistance tech to help improve safety levels, including adaptive cruise control, blind spot alert, lane departure warning, a collision alert system, surround view camera, park assist and hill holder. In 2017, more advanced driver assistance technology was added, including active lane keeping and blind spot assist, traffic sign recognition and highway assist, which all but drives for you on the motorway. However, we struggled with this system on test in Dubai. The lane keeping system was holding the car too far over to the right-hand side of the road, which meant we quickly stopped using it and drove ourselves instead. Will seat easily seat 4 in comfort boot, large enough for most buyers. Powered tailgate makes life loads easier. There's plenty of room inside with the ability to take 3 passengers in the back, though middle seat passengers have restricted legroom thanks to the center console, and good headspace wherever you sit. You've also got a wide array of cubbies at your disposal, including door pockets and a good-sized glove box. Our Levante is a large SUV, so we'll need big parking spaces. Visibility is great thanks to the high driving position, and front and rear parking sensors are standard fit. As you'd expect from a big car, there's an equally large 580-litre boot. There's a 12-volt power socket in there for running a cool box and 3 others around the cabin. A powered tailgate is standard, with buttons on the key fob and inside the car, to help you get in and out of the boot. This features an anti-pitching function to stop it moving when an obstacle is detected.